Stephen here from Archery Supplies. Today we're going to look at the Hoyt Axius. Now, the Axius has two models. It has the Ultra, which I would have thought be the faster one, and the Alpha. But the Alpha is actually the faster one. This, I'm pretty sure, is the Alpha, although I can't see Alpha in the title. It could be, oh, hang on. It's right there, Alpha in the title. Right, so there's an Alpha in the title, so that's cool. So this is the faster one. This bow is top of the line Hoyt as far as metal risers go. It retails in Australia for about $550, ballpark numbers. Speeds of 342 feet per second, axle, a little bit under 30 inches, 29.5. Brace height, I think, of 6.5 and IBO speed of 342. Draw length adjustable from 28 to 30. And that's all from the top of my head. Comes with a cap. Now, Hoyt caps in Australia are crazy expensive. If you're one shop in Australia sells them for $100 each. And believe it or not, one of my staff paid $100 for a Hoyt cap. He's a Hoyt fanboy. So yeah, they could be $100 for a cap if you're Hoyt. We sell them for 60 and we sold out. So Hoyt, just on that, we're going to be. I've been trying to source all the Hoyt clothing because I know if you're a Hoyt fan, you love Hoyt clothing, and it's pretty hard to get in Australia. And pricing is all over the show with Hoyt clothing. I really cannot buy it for what it gets sold for, if that kind of makes sense. I kind of pay for it more than you pay for it. So, okay, so here's the box. Instruction manual. Cool. A Hoyt Get Serious stitch on thing. Patch, so you can patch it on wherever you want. So this is the bow. Now it comes in a whole bunch of colours. Now if you didn't know, because I didn't know, and it could be because I'm silly or ignorant, people are going to say yes you are. Now if you ever see Hoyt shooters and they're doing this crossed arm thing, trying to look really angry, it's because it's part of the Hoyt logo. It's part of the Get Serious logo, and I didn't know that. I just thought, what a stupid pose you're doing. Like, why aren't you doing the thumbs up or looking happy? Yay, I shot well. But no, you're looking really just... Anyway, that's the Hoyt logo. So someone in marketing thought that was a good idea. So this is the riser. I haven't actually shot this bow, so let's just take a look at it. This is literally the first time I looked at it. Now, I had a guy come in my shop, huge Hoyt fan. He owns a whole bunch of bows and he shot pretty much all the bows in my store. He had a shot with this bow and I said, what do you think of it? And he said, look, it's really good. He said, I said, well, how does it compare against like your top of the line PSE, like the NXT 33, which he's shot? How does it compare against your, Elite Cure, which is, once again, these bows are aimed exactly at this price point, exactly at this bow. And he said he really liked this bow. So let's just have a quick look at it. So it looks like a machine riser, these little dimple things here. Limbs all look pretty standard, metal limb pockets. These little things here make it easy to screw in and out so you don't strip out the riser. The ability to fit a two-piece quiver, which is really good. Hoyt have a nice two-piece quiver. Expensive, but if you're shooting a Hoyt, you don't care about money because money's no object if you're buying a bow like this. I'm not being mean, but if you're buying a bow for $200, you would care if the quiver was $100, $200. But if you're spending $1,600, you probably don't care if the quiver's $100, $200. That's just the way it is. But they do have a nice quiver that bolts on there, which I think is a big positive. This is interesting. One arrow hole there, one bolt-on arrow rest hole. And I would have thought from John Dudley going from Hoyt to PSE and requesting 2 arrow holes, I would have thought all the Hoyts would have had 2 arrow holes. Roller slides, which I really like because it takes away the movement of the cables backwards and forwards. Big cams. These are the ZTR cams. They're kind of like a binary cam because they kind of look the same top and bottom. I don't know if they are the same. Well, they're not the same top and bottom, because down here you've got a yoke system, and this is very, well, kind of a yoke. You've got a yoke here and then another one pulling to the side here. So I'm going to kind of say it's like the, you know, Dartons and the PSEs, but it's got this extra cable to the side. It uses cable stops here, which hit the yoke cables here. Up the top, it's rotating modules, and the cable hits there. These things are very much like PSE, and other people are going to say other companies use it too. You don't need a bow press to adjust the draw length, which is really nice. These are nice here, how they fit into set positions. Now this is really nice. I love this on Hoyt. See here it has the letters. So it says if you use the position A, it's 28 inches. If you use E, it's 30 inches. It says a string length of 56 inches, the bus cable length of 30 inches, 30.85, and a control cable of 32.65. I really like that. It says a weight of 60 to 70. I think this bow weighs 4.3. That's interesting. This is kind of torn out the package. Now, I do it on E1s. I would prefer if the specs for the bow was on the card, because if you're coming into a shop and you sort of see this bow, and most people who come in my shop are not, I'm going to say proficient, that's not the right word. They're kind of new to archery, and hence they're just looking, or they just want to get a sense of price and what money buys. It'd be really nice if you had an information card here which had, you know, the bow weight, the speed, and what makes this bow worth $1,500. So, like, you know, machine riser. That way when you got all the Hoyts lined up in a row, you can say, well, the cheap ones 300 feet per second, the expensive ones 342 feet per second. And that way the customer goes, well, at 800 bucks I'm buying a bow at 300 feet per second. At $1,500 I'm buying a bow at 340 feet per second. Then I'm also getting a better cable system, I'm getting better riser, I'm getting a better grip, I'm getting more stability. Like maybe even a rating chart is kind of what I'd want from a archery shop perspective and a buyer perspective, so users can kind of see stuff. But maybe you just want people to talk to you. But often I find people just want to come in and look, and they just don't want to be pressured. They just want to come in and look. All right, so the grip, it's kind of narrow. It's comfortable. It's a plastic grip. Let's just feel the balance of the bow. Now I'm going to say it feels heavier than 4.3, so we'll put that on a scale. The balance is perfect. The weight feels, I probably just said that, the weight feels a little bit heavier than 4.3, but it feels quite good. So with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to weigh this bow. I'm going to fit a sight to it. This looks quite chunky here, doesn't it? Just the one position there for the sight. Little rubber thing there if you're using a drop away rest, and the arrow doesn't make a noise on the riser, which is quite nice. So we're going to put a sight, whisker biscuit, D-loop, set this to 60 pounds, shoot it through a chronograph, shoot 18 meters with it, and see how we go. Okay, so I've got the bare bow. You can see there's nothing on here. I've got the scale. I'll set it to 0. And then we'll weigh the bow. That's what it feels like. It feels like 4.87. It didn't feel like 4.3. So if you're thinking in that light bow, that's what this scale says, and these scales are generally pretty good. Alright, so we're going to change the draw length, which is a bit weird. So I'm going to just show you this because I was about to do it. Got a little letter there. You see the top one set on E, and the bottom one is set on It's in there, set on D. We're going to set them both on C for 29. Okay, so I've put a sight on, whisker biscuit, D loop. That's pretty much it. So some things. The modules were really easy to adjust, no bow press. They just clip in a spot, really simple. Took a couple of seconds. I noticed this was loose, so there's an Allen key just there that was loose. It was literally spinning around. I took the tag off because the tag's coming too close to this bottom cam here. I didn't want to shoot it with a bit of paper and damage something. So okay, so I've wound the bow down to 60. That's how many turns it took to get it down to 60. How many is that? I don't remember because I was doing a half a turn at a time, but it took a fair few turns to get it down. Some bows are just quicker than others. Now I haven't actually drawn this bow, so this is the first time I've drawn it. But I did look at some other bow specs, like the Bowtech Revolt, which has almost got the same specs as this bow. So let's just see how it draws. So the start of the draw is quite firm. So the 342 to start with is quite believable because it's quite hard to start. The grip feels comfortable. Oh, now the valley's coming. Valley. Oh, okay. Let's just take the shot. 308 feet per second. That is impressive. So it's a 342 bow. I was going to say 310 would be my target for a 340, and it's spot on the money with speed. It doesn't drop off. So some bows just cut. This drops off slowly. So the arrows I shoot, this is at 29 inches. It's at 60 pounds. The arrows I'm shooting at gold tip velocities, 400s. 29 inches with a 90 grain point. They weigh 327 grains, which is what I use in all my tests. So it drops there. It's rock solid once you get back here. You can see the bow is just not moving the hand. It's so quiet. 314. Whew. Doesn't feel like it. In fact, the whole draw doesn't feel like it. If I didn't know any better, I'd say it feels like a 300 feet per second bow to draw. Maybe even 290. It is good. And that's the thing today, like really, if you're looking at a $1,500 bow, it's going to be good. And this is definitely good. The grip's comfortable. Look, there's no 304. What I get? 304, 308, 314. It's weird. Anyway, the arrows are all touching one another. I could show you the grip down the other end, but that's weird. With that, I think we'll shoot at 18 meters and see how it goes. I'm going to say I really like the finish on the Hoyts. The color looks deep. It's a very nice film finish. Some of the Hoyts used to be like a rough paint kind of finish with their camos. They used to feel rough. And I think I did a review on the Hoyt RX where it dug in there in my thumb. This, I'm feeling nothing on my thumb. It feels really comfortable. So that point there was a problem before, and that's now gone, so that feels good. Feels really impressive. Now I can feel it's a 29.5 inch bow axle because I can feel the acute angle on my face. These little things here, teardrops, most of them are just circles, but Hoyt uses a teardrop system so it fits better. Yeah, feels really nice to shoot. So let's go shoot 18. Okay, take two. So I'm at 18 meters and I literally just shot this video. I didn't turn the video on. my Robin Hood and arrow, which is really unfortunate because I probably won't do it this time. Now, I'm at 80 meters. I'm finding I'm getting a little bit of shakes, and that's because of the geometry. So the grip to the limbs, the grip's probably about there, so I get a little bit of shakes, and that's pretty common with your hunting bows. Your target bows, the grips tend to be further forward. Like, what's that moving? Alright, so let's shoot these arrows. I'm finding I'm really liking the draw cycle. I'm finding it very easy, especially for a 340 feet per second bow. Get a little bit of that when I shoot, but it's pretty good. Stabilizer will get rid of that. Very nice bow to shoot. I'm going to say the nicest of the Hoyts I've shot as far as draw cycle. Probably the nicest to shoot of all the Hoyts I've shot, and much easier to draw than their target bows. So if you're thinking target's easier, no, this one's much easier than the target bows to draw. Now when it comes to choosing a bow, I generally prefer like 33 inches, so it's more of a hybrid, more accuracy and stuff. So I'd probably prefer this bow on a 33 inch in a 33 inch axle size, and you're probably going to say they make them. I just don't know because I'm not the Hoyt distributor. I tend to have a few Hoyts in my shop. Some people can try them. I like having different brands in my shop so people can try them. Like, we've got a population in Adelaide of about 2 million people, and we're the only archery shop. Some people are going to say, no, there's another one. Well, it's a country one. He doesn't have his doors open. It's a tin shed. I'm not taking anything away from him, but he closed his retail shop. So it's his choice. I fully encourage people to have walk-in shops because I think you need retail shops to get people into the sport. I think you need to teach people to shoot. People need to come in and see all the toys and go, this is cool, this is a cool sport. So I'm fully supportive of retail stores. Not so much supportive of the mail out business, and people are going to say, well, you mail out stuff. Yes, I do. But I'm very supportive of bricks and mortar, walk in, where people come and try stuff. And they get taught to shoot, and the bow gets set up. I mean, in our store we've got about 15 archers. I think we've got 4 club presidents who work in my store. It's I've got so many kids who work in my store who are members of the local archery clubs, like right across Adelaide, and I'm really proud of that. I'm really proud they come to work and they learn about archery and they enjoy it. I think it's cool to give them that opportunity for this type of work. Saying that, one's in hospital, so I hope he gets better. I feel like a whole bunch of people in hospital at the moment. Customers, and had other staff members in there last week. Not with COVID, so we don't have any COVID in the States, so I feel like I pushed that one up, but I'm really liking this bow to shoot. But when I shoot this bow, what I'm thinking about the other bows that exist out there who are up against this bow in the marketplace. I can't tell you about Matthews because I didn't bring them in this year. I can tell you about the Elite Cure. I like the Elite Cure. I like the functionality on changing the draw stops, limb stops, cam stops. That whole changing the lead off, changing the feel of the draw cycle, I like that. The whole pivoting limbs, I liked. And it's about the same sort of price as this. I like the Elite Cure. I'm telling you, a whole bunch of people like the Bowtech Revolt. Some of the people think that bow looks awesome and shoots really well. And the PSE NXT33 just did incredible sales this year. The draw cycle is just smooth, very adjustable in let off, and cheaper. I think it's about $1,400 where this is $1,550. That bow was really popular this year. So last arrow, I don't know how they're grouping, so like really interesting this bow to shoot. I feel like the NXT33 was easier to shoot. I don't know what the group's like down there. The Cure kind of felt similar to it, but the adjustability on the draw cycle and all that was kind of, the grip's different on both of them. The Cure to this is interesting. The Cure's got more adjustability. The PSE feels like more of a target bow. Interesting. Let's go and see what the group was like. Okay, so this is my group. You can see the high one, and that's I kind of pushed up. It wasn't a bad shot. Well, it was a bad shot, but it didn't feel like that much of a bad shot. I feel like I just pushed it, which kind of worried me a bit because I don't know if I was just getting used to the grip. Because at the time when it shot high, I was thinking about the grip position, how it feels different to the metal grips where they've got the straight edges. So I think I've kind of just pushed it a little bit in the grip. You can see most of them are 10s, which is pretty good for a hunting bow, right? There's one down low, like it's not bad. But what I'm seeing, like they're mainly 10s, right? So you'd say that's cool. 18 meters with a 5-pin hunting sight, no peep sight, no stabilizers, it's good, right? But what I'm seeing is they're not that tight. And last end I did Robin Hood and arrow, right? So it's up here. It's up here with the knock shot off, right? I just found the bow not as stable as your target bows. And I acknowledge this is a hunting bow, right? Because it's fast. It's 340 feet per second. Much easier to draw than any of the fast bows, okay? But I'm looking for the stability of the target bow with the speeds of a hunting bow. But saying all that, this is 30 inches axle, which is a compact hunting bow. It draws so smooth. There's no let off at the, well, there's no let off. There's no quick sharp let off at the end. So it's not like, ugh, and when you go to let it down, it's not going to rip your shoulders off. No shoulder pain whatsoever with this bow to draw. So nothing. And when you're hunting, you don't want to, be in that thing where you battle it down and you feel like it's going to rip your shoulders off, or the 90% let off, which is just, I'm holding nothing. It's really good in the draw. So my question is on this bow, if I'm looking to buy a top of the line target bow, I'm interested in the Cure from Elite because it's got that functionality. I'm interested in the PSE 33 and the 31. I like the 33 over the 31 because of it's more target, and people shot incredible scores with that bow. This is different. It feels different. It feels more of a standard bow. The vibration is really good with this bow. And I'd have to shoot them one-on-one to see which one's better. I feel like the PSE's got a wider grip, so if you like narrower grips, the Hoyt is narrower. If you like wider grips, the PSE grip's wider. It's pretty good. I think this is one of the better Hoyts. I'm going to say most people who are looking for the top of the line Hoyt bow, so you have top of the line Hoyt hunter, whose money's no object, is probably going to go for the RX, the carbon bow, because it's a bit lighter. But I'd want to compare that to this bow because I think this is pretty good. The grip's really nice, the draw cycle's really nice. It's probably going to be a bit heavier than the RX, but this is pretty good. It's very easy to set up. Now, the things that are really good about Hoyt, they have this shooting machine where they simulate dry firing the bow endless times, which is amazing. So basically, if you dry fire this bow, so shoot it without an arrow, it's meant to be okay. I don't know what Hoyt do, or what the distributors do, or what the dealers do when you dry fire this bow, because you can say, well, they do it in the video and the bow should be able to cope with it because I can see a video where it copes with it. I don't know. I don't know, because you're not meant to dry fire bows, and I'm not sure what happens in the case when you do dry fire the bow and you go to make a claim under warranty. Maybe these bows don't blow up. Now, I haven't sold enough of them, so I don't know. They tend to be really solid bows. So I'm going to say these limbs are a standard Gordon glass limb, which is used by everyone. You can see they're not under a lot of tension, so I'm going to say they're going to last forever. And I have seen some warranty claims, like on the edges here, where they're not rounded on the edges, they're quite square on the edges. So if you bump this against something sharp, you will get a shard lift. They definitely don't do warranty on that, because I know I've had customers who bump the edge of it and the fiberglass lifts off the edge, and the distributor goes, no, we don't do warranty on that. Whether that's his call or Hoyt's call, I don't know, right? But nice bow, the finish is great, price point's pretty much where you want it. Now I'm going to say, if you're a Hoyt dealer, you're probably happy you're a Hoyt dealer, because you don't have to worry about pricing. They kind of set the price. For me, I find Hoyt's, there might not even be $100 markup, and sometimes I find people selling the bows for less than I pay for them. So, but generally, I'm going to say, if you're a Hoyt dealer in America, you're price protected, so you're probably going, yay, I don't have to worry about price competition. But in Australia, it's kind of weird. So Europe, you're probably going to be looked after as far as pricing, so you're not going to have the whole, the guy down the road marking you down, and there's no profit margins in the bows. But overall, I think the price point's about right for this bow. I think if it was more expensive, you'd be like, the other bows are better. I think it's priced exactly right on the market. Nice and durable, rugged bow, shoots really well, great draw cycle, very adjustable now. And what else do you really want? The accessories are excellent, the two-piece quiver's excellent. The thing I'm going to say is also, this thing here might limit some RRS, so just be careful when you buy an RRS, because this may get in the way, the brace. But it feels nice. If you're making up string sets for this bow, it's obviously harder than a normal bow, because you've got some 1, 2, 3, 4. But you can say, well, PSE's got 5, you got 4 strings. Just bear that in mind when you're making strings. You got lots of serving in the center here to make. But overall, very, very nice bow from Hoyt, and I think this is the best Hoyt I've shot today. Thanks for watching. Bye.